Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Open Talk. In today's episode, we have with us Samira Al-Bitar, a young athlete and triathlete. She has represented Bahrain twice in swimming at the 2004 and 2008 Olympic Games, and she will share with us about her experience. Welcome to our program, Samira.
Thank you for this opportunity.
To start with, can you tell me about your experience when you took part in the Olympics and you presented Bahrain in the Olympics? How did it feel?
It was an amazing opportunity and it was a great experience. I can't explain how much I've learned out of this opportunity that I've got to go to Athens and then China to represent Bahrain in swimming.
Mm-hmm.
It was a totally different world out there. It was a very nice atmosphere. It was very competitive. You get to see how the best athletes in the world are training, what they do before the competition, how they compete, and just seeing how they get to focus and how they get to compete was a great opportunity.
So, are you thinking of participating in any other the upcoming Olympics?
Well, right now, 4 years ago, I switched to triathlon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit more difficult to qualify because in swimming we get a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
So an athlete, a female and a male representative from Bahrain get to go even without qualifying.
Okay.
Whereas in triathlon it's very limited, so there's only around 60 slots for male and 60 for female.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to basically get points over 2 years to be able to qualify.
Okay.
So right now I'm training. If I improve and I am at that level, I would love to go again. It's an experience that anybody would wish to go and experience. So it's something that I'm working on, but we'll see how it goes over the next 3 years.
So you shifted from that to being a triathlete.
Yeah.
How does that feel? How is the practice? I'm sure it's different. How does it feel?
Yeah, so it's completely different. With swimming, I was swimming since a very young age. So I started swimming since I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of a sport that has taken up a lot of time. So I used to train 4 hours a day since a very young age. And then after a while, it's very difficult in swimming to improve your times. And I wasn't improving much.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I finished university and I started working, I realized I don't have much time to dedicate to training. And then I started seeing a lot of people getting into triathlon, and it was a very social sport.
Mm-hmm.
So I slowly started. I was still swimming much less than I did before, and then I did the transition where I started running and then biking as well. So it's a very different sport. You have to be able to train for the 3 sports, but it's nice because it's not the same thing. In swimming, it's just lap after lap, whereas in triathlon, there's many other factors that go into the sport. And the community is really nice, and it's really growing in Bahrain. It's really nice to see how many Bahrainis and how many female athletes are actually getting into the sport.
So talking about female athletes, how important do you find this, finding women being a part in the sports field? We have seen a lot of females being a part of this. How important is it, in your opinion?
I think it's very important. I've seen what sport has given me. It's definitely given me a lot of confidence. I was able to see the world through sports. I was able to meet new people, see new cultures. And at the same time, it taught me a lot of life skills like time management and different things. So I think it's very important for women, especially if they're interested in sports, to go out and pursue it. And what I've recently seen also, what's nice, is the more mothers, for example, that get into sports, the more chance that they get their children into sports. So this is what I've been seeing in triathlon. A lot of female mothers are getting into the sport, and now they're getting their children into it. So it's really nice to see the sport growing, because if I look back at when I first started swimming, there weren't many female swimmers in Bahrain. So now the number is just growing, and it's really nice to see more female competitors. just a better atmosphere, especially for when you go to a race. You're not the only one. You have many other females that are doing the same thing.
So, as a woman, do you think it's you face challenges being in this field?
Yes, of course, with everything you do face some challenges. So when I was younger, there was a lot of media backlash, I guess, because it wasn't something, especially with swimming, the swimming attire, it wasn't something that was acceptable. But thankfully, I had parents that were supportive, the association was supportive, so I had a community that supported me. And at many times I did want to quit. I questioned whether this was the path I wanted to take, but I was very happy that I had a very strong support system that made me stay in something that I loved. And I'm 28 right now, and I still swim, and I love it.
And do you see other women that are facing these challenges, or
I think now it's a bit better. People are starting to be more they accept the fact that women are doing sports, women do swimming, women do triathlon. And what's really nice about triathlon is the attire doesn't limit you. So we see a lot of females that are actually covered, they're متحجبات, and at the same time they still are able to do triathlon, which is very nice. So there is actually a lot of females from Bahrain and from Kuwait that are covered and still get the chance to do sports. So it's really nice. So it shouldn't be a limiting factor. So whatever you believe in, you don't have to do swimming if you're not comfortable, but there are many other sports that you can get involved in, because I really believe in the healthy lifestyle, and I think sports has a lot to give to someone that actually dedicates their time to it.
So going back to triathlon.
Yeah.
So basically you used to swim when you were 4. Biking and running. Do you still love swimming more than the rest, or you have
Yes.
to? Yes.
Yeah, so swimming for me is the easiest part of the triathlon. Biking was very challenging for me in the beginning, especially the fact that I've known a lot of people that either fell off the bike or faced an accident. So it's always something in the back of my head. I'm always afraid, what if I fall? What if I get hurt? But I've started to slowly overcome these fears, and now I'm able to go out on the bike alone. I go out in Zallag only. I wouldn't go out anywhere else because I'm still afraid of the cars on the road. But with time, it definitely gets easier. So in the beginning, when somebody knows about triathlon, they think it's very challenging. But actually, it's not as challenging as people think it is. It's more about how you see it and how mentally strong you are. So I've seen a lot of actually female Bahrainis that maybe have not done much sports in their past, and they've set the goal of doing the half Ironman that happens here every year. And 3 to 4 months before the race, they dedicate certain hours each day, and they were able to complete it. So it's a very nice sport because there isn't any age limit. So in the Western world, you see men and women that are 60, 70-year-old that are doing the sport. So it's nice because it's a lifelong sport. So this is what really attracted me to doing triathlon.
So are you participating in the upcoming triathlon?
Yeah, so I'm currently with the national team. I've done my first Ironman in November.
Okay.
It was the first time I do that distance. I also thought it was impossible, but a lot of people encouraged me to do it, and just seeing the other females that have done it also motivated me and inspired me to do it as well. And we actually just had a race this past weekend. So the Triathlon Association organizes a league, and it's open for everyone. Anyone can join and participate either as a team or as an individual. So in Bahrain now we have many races that lead up to Ironman, which is kind of the main event in triathlon in Bahrain.
And where do you see, so in your opinion, where do you see the future of the sports field when it comes in Bahrain? Where do you see that?
So I think we're really improving. Just seeing back to when I first joined and where we are today, there's definitely a huge increase in participation from Bahraini males and females. And I think slowly we're hopefully going to see more champions that go to the Olympics, and hopefully one day we'll get more Olympic medals. This is kind of the vision that I see, especially just looking at triathlon specifically. In 2014, when the first half Ironman started, we didn't have many Bahrainis that were participating. 4 years later, you see around 300, 400 Bahrainis that are doing the sport. So there's definitely an increase. There's a lot more people that are doing cycling, a lot more people that are swimming. So hopefully we see somebody that that shines. And I've seen a lot of the young guys with me in the team. They have a very bright future. So I hope that one day I can see them representing Bahrain at the
Inshallah.
Olympics and getting a medal, inshallah.
Inshallah. And where do you see yourself?
So right now I'm kind of doing sports as a hobby. I'm not doing it competitively. So I'm working full time with a charity for drowning prevention and water safety. With sports, I think it's going to be a part of my life till I'm really old, till something happens where I can't be doing this. But it's something that's part of my life. So I love to swim, and I enjoy training. I enjoy training more than racing. So it's definitely every day I try to find some time to go out and train. So this is my plan, is to just keep training, competing, and seeing where the sport takes me.
Inshallah, it will take you to a bright future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samira, for being with us. Thank you for. It was a great pleasure talking to you, and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Once again, we had with us Samira Bitar. Thank you for watching Open Talk. Have a good evening.